Due to technical difficulties, we are forced to air this classic episode of the BS of A, which originally aired on August 3rd, 1984. Please do not adjust your television set. Tonight's presentation of Security Theater is brought to you by the Macintosh 128K with 128K of computing power.
Hello and welcome to the airport. Security lines are so very short. Place your keys into the tray. That's my whole job. Have a lovely day. This water's fine. It's not a threat. This bag looks good. I think you're all set. You're a woman, so I trust you. And old people, you can just breeze through.
Beg your pardon, I'm a foolish one. I left my boarding pass with my son.
Not a problem at all for you. Don't need a boarding pass to get through.
I'd love to open this, you see, but it is locked and I misplaced my key. To break the lock would upset me, 'cause you'd be invading my privacy.
She lost the key.
I lost the key. The Fourth Amendment means a lot to me.
She lost the key.
I lost the key, so let's just run it through your X-ray thing.
I'm sure it's fine, I'm not worried. We have a lot of common sense indeed.
What a relief, so good to see that traveling is hassle-free.
Have a nice flight.
Have a nice flight on Eastern Airlines, which I hear's all right.
There's no TV.
There's no TV, but you can smoke after row 23. Welcome to the BS of A. I'm your host, Brian Sapp. The murder rate is on the rise and children are increasingly shiftless and disobedient. What's to blame for our societal decay? Video games. This is Dr. Bryn Krupa, child psychologist. Dr. Krupa, why should parents be worried?
Violent video games send a message to children that violence is not only acceptable, but rewarded. Take this Mario fella, for example.
Mario.
I believe he's a blue-collar worker of some
Italian
kind.
plumber.
Yes, exactly. He participates in the wholesale slaughter of turtles. Now imagine if a child who plays that game comes across a real turtle in real life. He's going to jump on it, flip it over, and send it into the sewer. Now imagine that turtle was another child. Sewer filled with dented kids.
While the danger to turtles is worrisome, Dr. Krupa told me she's most concerned about a new game called Gunfighter, an adaptation of the popular Japanese game Princess Genji's Dream Castle of Light and Fire. The object of the game is simple: kill. I bravely decided to subject myself to the game's brain-warping power. For safety, we set up a video game console at a local police department. In the event, I went into a video game rage fit. Okay, we ready?
Yep.
What the hell am I looking at?
What?
I don't know what this is. What am I?
Oh, I think you're the gray box.
Okay, who am I fighting?
The greenish gray box.
What?
Now, can't you see how this violence could rot the brains of America's children?
Is it the score or is it a timer?
Yes.
Okay. Is that a car?
I think it's a wall.
What? Really?
You have entering Escobar Fortress. Much danger to the gun. Who is the power?
What is that? Is that a riddle?
Poor translation from Japanese.
Okay, why the screen is flashing blue? Why is the screen flashing blue?
Oh,
What does
okay.
that mean?
That's a tidal wave. Press the button.
Which button? Which button?
There's only one button. It's 1984.
Oh,
It's not a tidal wave. Your character died.
What?
It's blue because of his vision fading.
why is the screen blue?
Maybe you're in the fortress?
What fortress?
Could be it stopped working. You could. You might should take it out of the wall.
Damn it! Yeah, I'm still here. That's the problem. No, I don't speak Japanese. Do you speak English? What? That's what I mean. I don't. What magic flute? Are you talking about the treasure chest?
No, the magic flute is behind the treasure chest.
It's not.
That's not a treasure chest. That's a snake.
Okay. I think I got it. Arigato.
Okay. Oh, no.
Was that a hole?
Yeah.
Did I fall in the hole?
Yeah.
You didn't have.
Son of a... Unfortunately, I killed that nice police officer, but because of the game's hyper-realistic violence, the jury felt I was not in control of my actions. So in summary, video games make me feel old, therefore I hate them and they need to be banned. Now, as you know, we have what we call under-the-table sponsors. They're small businesses who pay us to make them a commercial that they have no creative control over. We keep the money ourselves and don't give any of it to our parents. And we use the money to buy things like Rubik's Cubes and dinners at Ground Round for our staff. This week's under-the-table sponsor is Conversion Services Incorporated, a company that can take old films and convert them to modern-day formats such as VHS or Betamax. Conversion Services Incorporated. Look for them in the yellow pages because what else could you do? We'll be right back. Welcome to On the Line, the show that connects you with newsmakers. I'm Roy Hamilton. With me today from the Walter Mondale campaign, Communications Director Matt Martin.
Good morning.
Good morning. And from incumbent Ronald Reagan's camp, Campaign Coordinator Jennifer Hines.
Good to be here.
Good to have you. With all due respect, Matt, this does not look like a close race. President Reagan is clearly leading in the polls. And with the kind of numbers we're seeing, I mean, what is Team Mondale's strategy?
Well, you know, first let me just say that elections are not decided by polls, they're decided by votes, okay? And nobody stepped into the voting booth yet. Voters are going to get in there and they're going to either vote for President Reagan or, you know, the other...
Your candidate.
Yeah, indeed.
Walter.
That's what I call him. Mondale. Walter Mondale. Great guy.
Yeah.
So, you got two candidates, so we got a 50-50 shot.
Okay, that's definitely not how that works. I mean, polling shows that many voters have already decided that they are not going to vote for your candidate before they've even gone to the voting booth.
Well, I have the names of almost 75 voters here who might beg to disagree with them. In fact, I just got a letter from John Hinckley, who you may have heard of. He's seriously considering voting for Walter Mondale. That's a celebrity endorsement. Look out. It's a movement. Prisons. Come on.
Oh, okay. Jennifer, my question to you is you seem to have incredible momentum going into this election. Mm-hmm. So what is your strategy at this point?
At this point, my strategy is to get high and watch Dynasty. That's not a joke. As soon as all of my states went to 80% plus for Reagan, I stopped showing up to work. I restored a vintage motorcycle. I drove down the Pacific Coast Highway.
Wow.
And when I got back, our numbers were better than ever. And if I could, I would give Mondale 5 states just so I'd have something to do. A reason to wake up in the morning.
Well, yeah, we could. That might come back to bite you. You know, people get into that booth and all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, I respect a man with a slightly longer name." Or they're, you know, like a loud noise happens, the lamp falls over, and they get startled and they flip the wrong lever.
Oop, they got spooked.
You get the spooked voter. We're very strong with voters who don't understand what they're doing with their hands. So, you know, this could go anyway.
Okay. Is there a specific voter you're targeting in the home stretch?
Yes, actually. We're looking into poltergeists that can summon the psychic energy to move the lever on a voting machine. Actually, in fact, I should be shaking the trees even as we're sitting here. Excuse me for a second.
Sure. Jennifer, your target voter.
Yes, actually, we were concerned about the air traffic controllers that the president fired a few years ago.
Absolutely. That is 13,000 votes you won't be getting.
We have a 90% approval rating with them.
This is, like I said, it's a movement. Okay, do the math. 10% of 13,000 is like, it's like around, it's like 2,000.
1,300.
This is what I said. So, like, it's nice, right? Pretty good. Plus, we just got a thumbs up from Geraldine Ferraro's husband.
Wait, I'm sorry. He just now decided to vote for the ticket that his own wife is on?
Well, he hasn't decided anything, but he's being very warm to me on the phone. And he wanted Reagan all the way, even at the beginning of his phone call. So the needle is moving. And now if he just convinces Geraldine Ferraro, that's Washington inside. That's the power elite, and then it trickles over the Mondales, hopefully, and then we're on our way.
Oh, boy. Okay. We're almost out of time here, so any last messages for the voters? Matt?
Election day is opposite day, so if you want Reagan, vote Mondale.
Okay, that's strange. And Jennifer?
I have a twin box spring I'm trying to sell. So if you're interested in that, you can contact me, care of the committee to elect George H.W. Bush.
I'm sorry, so you've already moved on to election 88?
Oh, yeah. We're just looking forward to finally having a good challenge.
Okay, well, rumor has it the Democrats are going to run Mike Dukakis.
Damn it!
Battle of the century. Have you seen that guy?
Oh, come on.
That's all the time we have. Join us tomorrow when we're joined by the stars of Bosom Buddies, Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari. Catch them before they both become big movie stars.
Brian, what's the matter?
Well, my grandma died and left me all her old 8mm films. There are so many treasured memories on these, and I'll never see it again because I don't have a film projector.
Well, you have a Betamax player, right?
Of course, who doesn't? I bought it last year to record The Winds of War on just 14 cassettes.
Well, then you're all set. All you need is Conversion Services Incorporated.
Conversion Services Incorporated?
Yeah, they take your precious 8mm film and they convert it onto Betamax cassettes. They last forever. Problem solved.
Conversion Services Incorporated sounds like exactly what I need.
Well, then here's their address, which is totally normal for me to be carrying around. Hey, Bri.
Hey, Matt. I just got my Betamax tape from Conversion Services Incorporated. I was just about to sit down and watch my darling grandma's old 8mm movies.
Count me in.
All right. That's my grandma. Oh, this is awesome.
Who's that guy?
I don't know. I don't recognize him.
Maybe it's a birthday party.
Why do you say that?
Just because she has that big old knife.
Yeah, but where's the cake then?
Oh! Oh! Oh no! No! Oh! Oh no! God. Brian, this is a snuff film, Brian. Your grandmother made snuff films.
Technically, she makes snuff tapes, thanks to Conversion Services Incorporated.
Conversion Services Incorporated, saving your treasured memories since 1983, which was last year. The BS of A presents The Best Stuff of America with Matt Fisher. Home box office.
A nation cried out, "Let me see the Great Muppet Caper." And home box office answered. And then also there's filthy stuff after 11.
Next time.
Howard Johnson's.
Good evening and welcome to The Experts, our really new segment where we discuss the latest headlines of interest to me. My first guest is a roadie and pyrotechnics expert who was responsible for accidentally setting Michael Jackson's hair on fire during the shooting of a Pepsi commercial earlier this year. Please welcome Ronnie Churl. Ronnie.
Well, thanks. Yeah, let's dive right into that. Yeah, let's get it out there right now, right? I set the King of Pop's hair on fire. All right.
It's an important fact. I mean,
What's important, thank you for asking, is that I'm doing fine now. All right. I've actually started working with a new band called Great White, teaching them how to do pyrotechnics.
Sure.
They're blowing up in London right now, so we're gonna be fine. And by blowing up, I mean they're getting popular.
Oh, sure.
All right. They're not on fire.
Okay. Next up is the teenage daughter of Jonathan Collingswood III. She's the head of the cheerleading squad, captain of the tennis team, and Chad's girlfriend. Please welcome Blair Collingswood.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Blair. How are you?
Chad.
Welcome. My final guest is a student at the Cobra Kai Dojo and a tormentor of Lonely Weakling and Karate Kid Daniel LaRusso. Please welcome Dutch Riggins.
What are you doing, man?
I was introducing you.
What, do you want me to kill you?
No, what?
Don't talk about me, man.
I'm introducing you.
You are like an inch away.
Yeah.
I'm gonna punch you in your major arteries. Your legs are gonna be asleep for the rest of your life.
Just saying hi. Just saying, welcome you to the show. Welcome to The Experts. First up, Bernard Goetz. All right? Guy sitting on the subway. 4 teens start harassing him, threatening to mug him. Pulls out a gun, shoots them. They're not dead. They're injured. One is crippled, it seems. The teens are black. Bernard Goetz is white, and would you say, I guess, maybe slightly nerdy?
Yeah, he's like an empowered weakling type.
Mm-hmm. What do you make of this? I mean, is this a racial situation, or is this a guy just defending himself, Ronnie?
This is just a guy defending himself. He was out there. New York City subway is a dangerous place. You get bullied a lot, especially if you've started the King of Pop's hair on fire. I mean, just the other day I was on the subway and I had a couple guys approach me, get angry about that, and I ended up, I threw my coffee all over their face, scalded them pretty bad. Turns out one of them was Lionel Richie. But you got to defend yourself, especially when you're being picked on.
Yeah, absolutely. Blair.
What I want to say is that I think Mr. Goetz, what's his name?
Goetz.
I think Mr. Goetz's biggest problem was why was he on the subway in the first place? Because there's lots of poor and gross people on the subway. Just take a limo.
I mean, he lives in the Bronx, I believe. I mean,
yuck. Mistake number 2.
Okay. Dutch?
I've never been on a subway, but I take the bus out to Reseda sometimes. And when I get on the bus, the first thing I do is I do that thing where you snap everybody's necks, just on the bus. And it's usually it's nobody cool, it's nobody beautiful, it's like bag ladies and whatever. And so it's a nice quiet ride, and then I don't have to shoot anybody.
Okay. I mean, that's a particularly aggressive kind of approach to getting on a bus.
Aggression is power, and power is justice, and justice is final.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai.
All right, fair enough. Let's move on to Ethiopia. Big country, a lot of people starving to death, really sad. Bob Geldof and Midge Ure got their friends together and recorded a song called Do They Know It's Christmas. We've all heard it.
Yeah.
It's catchy, like it. Huge lineup of stars in this song. This song's to raise money. They got Duran Duran.
I love them.
Are you a Simon Le Bon fan?
I love him. He's the sexiest.
Oh, I know his agent.
His blonde hair. I like blonde hair a lot. So.
Yeah, he's cool. Paul Young, George Michael, Sting, Kool and the Gang, a guy from a band called U2 named Bono, Paul Weller, Phil Collins, Bananarama, Jody Watley, Boy George. Michael Jackson was going to be there, but he's in the hospital. David Bowie, Paul McCartney appear in the song. Big Country, Holly Johnson from Frankie Goes to Hollywood. I mean, woo, that's a star-studded lineup. Great song. Do you think it's going to solve Africa's hunger problem, Ronnie?
It depends on the music, I guess, and I'm not super familiar with any of these groups that you mentioned. I'm more of a classic rock and roll guy. I used to work with the Allman Brothers a lot, and it was just straightforward music. You didn't have all this flashy stuff. The biggest fireworks we had were just, lighting up a J, and I did, start Dwayne Allman's hair on fire with a joint once, but I mean, he was fine, and we got to put it out right away because, it's a tiny joint, not a big 5-pound mortar round.
All right, Dutch, let's move to you then.
obviously there are structural problems in Africa, infrastructure problems, and just it's a tough place to live. It's very hot in certain areas. But you can't use that as an excuse to do nothing. I think about it like any little bit helps. Everything you can do helps a little bit. And obviously you're right, it's not going to fix Africa. You still got to do it. Think about this. There's a guy named Dave. I think you know Dave from high school. Real mouth breather, biology nerd, always carrying around a frog, and, dissecting or whatever. And I've never really fought Dave. I should. I never really gotten the opportunity. But I did drive a dirt bike through Dave's uncle's wake. Now, is that gonna hurt Dave personally? No, Dave wasn't even there. He was on summer vacation.
Okay.
And so it's the same thing of like hunger in Africa is like Dave. It's like forget it. Get Africans. You get them in rows and columns, right? And I stand in front of them, and we repeat after me. There is no hunger on this continent. There is no weakness on this continent. There are no crippling infrastructure problems on this continent. And then we practice like front kicks.
Let's move on to skyrocketing prices. Prices are getting out of control. Gas is already $1.30 a gallon. The movies going to almost $2.50 to $3 a movie for a movie. Come on, can we afford this? Can you afford to go to the movies anymore?
No, I don't really go out in public as much anymore as I used to.
Why not?
Because of the whole hair thing with Michael Jackson's head and me starting it on fire, and people really freaked out about that one.
He's popular. I mean, he's a popular musician.
Yeah, he's apparently the king of popular.
Blair?
I don't understand. If you're saying that movies cost $2.50s, like why are we upset that movies cost two $50 bills? That's like nothing.
Oh, Jesus, no.
Okay, if movies are going to cost $3.50s, then we should just give the movie theaters the $3.50s because they spent like a lot of money to make the movies, and we should just stop complaining.
Okay, thank you, Blair. Dutch?
I haven't paid money for a movie in I don't know how long. The people who work the box office at these theaters in the suburbs, they tend to be shrimpy little dudes. Not really a big deal. I haven't paid for a movie since Kramer versus Kramer. If I wanted to go into a movie theater, I was knock down a wall, walk in and make out with whoever I want to.
All right, that concludes this week's BS of A. Now, if there's anyone you'd like to see on The Experts, please send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to The Experts, care of The BS of A with Brian Sack, Basement Studio, Level C, Pan Am Building, Midtown Manhattan, New York, New York. I'm Brian Sack. Good night, America and West Germany.